Hi guys. Has anyone actually read the book of Job? It's a very interesting book. Where it starts out where Job is a righteous man, and God is talking about all these righteous works that he does and how much he likes to go and pray and do burnt offerings for his family in case they've sinned. And there was no one finer than all of him in the East. But then, God himself said to Satan, have you considered my servant Job, that there's no one like him in the earth, a stand-up, and a righteous man? And, Satan was like, well, if you've put a hedge of protection around him and you've protected him from me, probably, yeah? So obviously he's going to love you, And, but then Satan says, if you take away all his possessions, then he will curse thee to your face. He will curse you to your face if he loses everything that you've protected and given him, like cattle and good family and a little bit of a Job, little bit of a Job empire, and he had a good family, and so then God said to Satan, well, all that he has is in your hands, but don't hurt him. So Satan went and he took away his cattle and his sheep, and he sent some of his enemies against him. His family died in an accident. The building collapsed. So Satan took away all his possessions, thinking that then Job would curse him to his face. I suppose that goes by the mind of Satan, that if he gives, like in today's society, he'll give people fame and fortune and cars and money and whatever, stature and power, like he tried to tempt Jesus when he said, if you bow down and worship me, I'll give you all this empire of worldly stuff. But Jesus wasn't interested, and so Satan thought, well, if I take away all Job's empire and all his things that he has on earth, then he'll just give up. But he didn't. He went and shaved his head and rent his mantle and ripped his clothes off, shaved his head, and saying, naked came I out of my mother's womb, and naked shall I return there. The God gave, or the Lord gave, and the Lord had taken away. Blessed be the name of the Lord. So basically Job says, when I come out of my mother, I didn't have any hair, so I was bald then, and I had no possessions. I was starting fresh. I had nothing. All my possessions have been taken away. I'll shave my head. It's just like I've been, I suppose, just starting out again in life. Like I've lost everything that I've got. But then he said, the Lord had given me all these things, and the Lord had taken away, even though it was Satan that took them away. Blessed be the name of the Lord. So, if you even lose all your possessions, or lose all your money, lose all your cars, houses, or whatever, all these things that these people love, actually, all these, mainstream sort of pastors, the big houses, and, they just have not got the right heart, the right mindset. They don't know God, like, intimately, about what God really wants, a close relationship, a spiritual one, not things of worldly things. And and then so after that, there was a second time where the sons of God came to pronounce before God, and Satan came also, and God says, where you been? And Satan says, going to and fro on the earth and walking up and down in it. He says, have you considered my servant Job, that I took away everything he had because you said, and he still didn't curse? And he's like, oh well, skin full skin. A man will give up basically everything he has for his life, but take away his health, and that's a different story. So in other words, he'll give man. Now Satan's changed the story a little bit now, because he's saying that a man will give up all his possessions as long as he lives, which that's not what Satan wanted. Satan thought that if he took away all Job's possessions, that he would not want to live and, you know, curse God and basically give up on his spiritual life. But then Satan's now saying that, you know, oh well, you know, man would be all right with losing their possessions as long as they lived. So now he's changed, you know, and now he's upping the ante a little bit and changing his story. And so God says, all right then, well, you know, you can take away his health, but save his life. In other words, you can take away his health as much as you want, and then, but make sure he lives. And so, you know, Satan went and struck him with sore boils and some sort of, you know, some sort of plague or whatever. And, you know, even his missus was saying, oh, you still, you know, retaining your integrity and your your belief and your faith in God. Why don't you just curse God and die? And he was like, well, you're speaking like one of the foolish people speak, isn't it? Because, you know, there's so many people out there, especially now, they go, well, if there was such thing as God, why would he let all these people die? Well, first thing, there's no such thing as death. Well, not anymore anyway, you know. Death has been swallowed up by the blood of the Lamb. Where Jesus Christ rose from the dead, so will we. You know, so there's no such thing as death. So that is just speaking more like, well, you know, the foolish people speak. And yeah, so he went on and he took away his health. And then his friends were like, oh, well, you must have done something wrong against God and now he's punishing you. Which was like the total opposite, isn't it? So I think, you know, the main point is like from Job that, you know, main point is, you know, if God's punishing as we think, then we have the inkling, I did it myself, we have the inkling to think that we've done something wrong and now he's punishing us, yeah? Whether it be through ill health or whether it be through the loss of possessions or the loss of something, and we think, oh, you know, I must have done something wrong to deserve that, you know, God's punishing me. I suppose the lesson from Job is no, because, you know, it was Satan that took all the things away because Satan wanted to, but God allowed it. And then God, at the end of Job, gives him back more than he had before, you know, and he was much happier and his empire was much bigger. So, yeah, we think we're at a loss, but it's not because God's punishing us, it's because God actually wants to make us better, wants to make us bigger than we were before. And there's an old saying, it's not from the Bible, but through every challenge you face comes a seed of an equal or greater opportunity or benefit. Meaning, you know, you have a problem and you think the world's just caved in on you, and then there's an equal opportunity to come out of it, or an equal reward or growth or whatever, or a greater one, like Job. There was a greater benefit that came after the downtime, basically. So, you know, whatever you're going through, if you're going through a downtime, God's not punishing you, it's just the journey. He's probably making you better. There's nothing worse than going through life, like I call it, flatliners. They don't have any ups or downs. I made an old video about ups and downs. I suppose this is along the same lines, but I don't know. I just praying about what to do, and all that was in my spirit was about Job, and yeah. So I just thought I'd make a video about the afflictions that came on Job, and you know how Satan believes that taking our possessions away will make us turn away. So don't be tricked by possession gaining as a way. Instead, you know, go the opposite, and don't want, like Jesus says about people gaining the entire earth but losing their spirit. Like, you can gain money, power, cars, clothes, whatever, but you get further and further away from losing your spirit. So really, we have to be at a time where we like Job, we could lose both. We need to get at the mindset But I'm ready to lose everything. In fact, you know, when the throne passes over in sixth seal, and I'm here actually in the safety, you know, after that, and we go in Exodus to whatever lands are above sea level, then you know, I will have lost everything. I'll literally be in the clothes that I stand up in. I'll have my Exodus bag with my tabernacle and sleeping tent or whatever, and that'll be it. So yeah, I'm prepared to lose everything for God's will and you know, God's journey and his plan for us. I'm willing to lose my, you know, health or life even, but obviously I'd rather not do that, because then ministry and stuff wouldn't be happening. So if I'm in good health, then, you know, it's good. But if I'm in bad health as well, the way I look at it now, if I have a downtime where I'm sick or you know, I'm tired, and the thing is, I get mad with myself. I go, you know, I'm tired. I should be working at the ministry 24/7, you know, 24/7, bang, bang, banging out as quick as I can, as hard as I can, doing as much as I can. But then, you know, these past few weeks that I've realised that, you know, when God lays a tiredness or a sickness and that on me, you know, I look at that time as like God kind of like forcing me to rest. Do you know what I mean? Because you can't do it all. This is why we have a Sabbath rest day. For one day, the 7th day of the week, Saturday, to rest from your works. And people say, oh, there is no Sabbath. Well, are they going to be working 7 days a week? Because you can't, physically. But I'm digressing a bit now, aren't I? So, yeah, so, you know, if God strikes me with tiredness, actually I did last night, tiredness and whatever, I just see it as an opportunity to recharge my batteries, and I'm ready to lay down all my possessions for the exodus of the end of the age. So I hope you do the same. You know, don't set your heart on things, and don't set your heart on yourself and your own performance, because God knows how to make you perform better. And if laying down and, you know, resting is a way that he can make you better, you know, if he has, let's say he knows of a time that, let's say a week or so from now is going to happen, that there's going to be events on the earth, then, you know, if he makes me tired and wants me to rest now, then that's a good thing, because then I'll be fully recharged for when he does need you to speak, if so to speak. That's what I think I've learned, especially over the past few weeks, about, you know, God helping us out in that way. So anyway, thank you for watching. I don't particularly know the reason why this was on my heart, but I just spoke it anyway, and yeah, so it's gone all right. So God bless you all. Anyway, this is Pastor Justin Roberts from End of the Age Bible Prophecy. It's a beautiful day in UK. We're set to have a bit of a heat wave, but it's not too hot, and it's quite a wind up there in the press, but I don't know if you can see behind me. Yeah, in the mountain up there. There's quite a little breeze, so it's nice. So God bless you all anyway, and thanks for watching. Amen.